Hey guys, so today I want to talk to you about this red dot right here. This is the Sig Sauer ROMEO-X SIG-LOC Pro. This is their newest and let's say greatest addition to this lineup particularly. For this video, I'm going to do a lot of comparisons to the smaller compact version. I did a full review on this a couple months ago. I will start by saying there's obviously a lot of similarities, but honestly, I'm a little surprised at how many differences there are. I'll even say upgrades, because there's definitely a lot of features on this new one that I like a lot, and I think it definitely fixed any sort of gripes I had with the last one. So to keep us on track, made myself a little cheat sheet. I know sometimes when I try to give you guys a lot of information, I tend to sway here and there, and we'll try to keep this as streamlined as possible because I want to go through everything. This optic is not an inexpensive optic, but it's also not the most expensive. I think it's a very fair price for what it is. Obviously, YouTube is weird about us talking about prices, so go ahead and look it up yourself. And yeah, I will tell you guys, full disclosure, I got this optic when I bought the firearm. So when I got my P226X Legion, I got this off Gunbroker. They had a model, already came with this dot. Now this dot particular is the circle red dot version. They offer 6 different models. We'll talk about all of them a little bit later. For comparison's sake, on my compact, I have the 3.25 MOA. Personally, I've always used a smaller dot. I never really saw a benefit or difference to having a circle dot, but now that I have, I think I'm at like 1,200 rounds on this, and I have 1,300 rounds on that. I think I have a fair amount of shooting behind both where I can compare them. Obviously, I'm not going to compare the circle dot to the small dot because that all comes down to your guys' opinion. One person might like one over another for whatever reason. At first, I didn't really love the idea of getting circle dot. It was the only option that came with this pistol. But with shooting it now, I actually do like it a lot. So I can't say there's any negative to it for me. Obviously, it's simply opinion for whatever style reticle you want on your handgun. So we're not gonna really get into that. But there's also a lot of other things that we will definitely talk about. So I wanted to start with all the similarities. We'll get those out of the way. Hopefully you guys saw my other video, and then we'll get into the differences because I think that's what really sets this one apart and definitely makes it better in my opinion. So fit and finish, it's exactly the same. So I can show you guys up close. Definitely in and out of bags, in and out of holsters. They still look great. Even this one here, I mean, they still look new. So can't complain about that at all. As far as window size, they are definitely the same window size. We will show a little bit difference on other sizes, but as far as what you get to see, the window size is exactly the same. Again, obviously, if you guys were to look at the video, you'll see the reticle looks different, but it works for both guns. I commented in my last video, I think the window size overall for the ROMEO-X is on the smaller size, but honestly, if you look at the gun itself and up close, you will see it fits the slide perfectly. For guns that have a more narrow slide, I think it works out well. I'm not a huge fan when the optic hangs over, like you see on a lot of 2011s, the optic hangs over significantly. I'm not really a huge fan of that. I like a cleaner look. Aesthetics to me matter. I mean, we could argue all day how much that is a practical application when it comes to firearms, but being a car guy, aesthetics is just something that matters to me. You know, I want my things to look like they flow together and look good together. And aesthetically, I think these red dots look well. I think this Pro Edition definitely looks the best. In fact, I would almost say it is made to match this 226X. So the cuts on it, the way everything lines up, it pairs so well, guys. So that is definitely a pro for me. Obviously, I totally understand that's subjective. Some people will be like, why even mention it? It doesn't matter. But I said the same thing on the CZ. I thought it looked really good. It fit the size of the pistol. To me, that matters. Another good thing about both is they both sit really low on the slide, so you're able to co-witness. That's a huge selling feature for me. I hate plate systems. I hate having a dot and then not having backup irons. God forbid you ever need it. Like, why would you not want that option? As far as clarity, these are both the enclosed versions. Clarity's been amazing. Very minimal cleaning on the front and back when I shoot. No issues with that at all. And obviously they also both have the battery on the side, which is great. If you have to swap out batteries, you don't have to take the optic off, because as we all know, the older optics, when you have to take them off and then potentially re-zero, that's a huge pain. It sucks. I'm so glad we're beyond that now. It seems like more and more companies are doing optics where you have a battery either on top, the side, or somewhere where you don't have to dismount it. As far as that, I'm pretty sure I covered all the similarities. Now let's get into what makes these different, and then you will really see why I made a video dedicated to the SIG-LOC Pro and what makes this one special. So the big difference is, obviously, this came on the firearm. I did not mount this myself, but the big difference is this gets attached from underneath. You'll see up top, very clean. You don't see the screws. It is just nice to have the screws come underneath. It's one less thing you see up top. For comparison, you can see there are the screws there. Obviously, almost all red dots that I know, besides this, they all go through the top. Or, I mean, some come through the side in a weird way, like the RCR, but to the best of my knowledge, at least in my personal use, this is the first I've seen that goes through the bottom. Now, this also has two little, I'll say they look like little teeth kind of, that go underneath and sit under the actual slide. And now that adds another point of contact, making this even more secure onto the firearm. Granted, I've never had an issue where a red dot has flung off a pistol while firing, but I've heard plenty of horror stories. I never want to have that happen. So for me, that's added peace of mind. Obviously, all comes down to how you installed it, who installed it, did you do it right, etc. But it's nice to know that that's there. I will say 1,200 rounds, this thing is rock solid. Obviously that noise was me moving the slide itself, but the actual optic is, I mean, not going anywhere. No play in that whatsoever. I've not messed with it at all since getting it. SIG installed it when they shipped out the firearm originally. It's holding amazing. So the next thing I will say, big difference, going directly from how it's mounted, because you don't have those screws up here, it allows this optic to actually be longer. SIG says because it's longer, and I would say it almost makes it look more like a mailbox, which personally I like that style. I've always liked the Acros, the RCRs. I like that look. SIG says that will reduce parallax. I'm not a good enough shooter to tell you yes or no that that does that. I'm gonna take their word for that. But aesthetically, I think it looks pretty cool. You have these little notches down here added to this. And I will say on the back of this, the way the metal has the cuts into it, I think that's to reduce glare, is definitely more significant on the Pro version than on their compact version. It's ever so slightly there on the compact, but it's significantly more there, like hands down, on the Pro version. Can I say that's made a difference with me shooting? No. I do shoot outside in the Florida sun, so that's definitely something that if there was going to be some glare, I could see that being added benefit. But for me, what I like is the aesthetics. It's longer, has these slanted walls back here versus going straight down. It looks that much better. Now, in addition to the fact that it gets to be a longer optic, you also get slightly larger buttons. Now, I've never had any issues with these tiny buttons on compact. They are very functional. My hands hit them no problem. I've loved it from day one. I will say, I definitely enjoy having the larger buttons. It's an added bonus. I can't say the other one was bad in any way, but having a slightly larger button on there is an even nicer feature for me. And then the next part we'll talk about, and this guys was my biggest gripe about the compact. Yeah. So let me be completely clear here, because there was a bit of a misunderstanding in my last review. I'm gonna say I was very lucky when I got this optic in. When I went to zero this optic on my shadow, I had to do extremely minor adjustments. It almost came zeroed from the factory. So me, at an indoor range, wearing Ear Pro, having to make very small adjustments, when I set this and zeroed this pistol and never had to do it again, one, I could not hear it. I was in an indoor range and I did not hear anything. So in my thought, that this did not make an audible click. Also, the tool used for the compact, as well as their other compact that's not enclosed, the actual tool, the head of it is so tiny that there's no way you're gonna actually see inside there to see if you're making an adjustment, and the click to it is so soft that to me, when I had to do small adjustments on this, I couldn't feel it. Maybe I was rushing that day, maybe I wasn't paying attention. I'm used to optics that have a very audible, very positive click. Now, since getting this, I will say it's improved in the sense that the tool you use is now a flathead. It's definitely bigger, so you can actually see the adjustments. Now, why I'm prefacing the seeing part is I tested this just to mess with it the other day and realized when I'm not wearing Ear Pro and not at the range, yes, it does actually make an audible sound. It's extremely faint. So if you have Ear Pro on, you're probably not going to hear that. Two, it definitely has a tactile feel. Again, very ever so slight. If you're going fast, you're not going to feel it. But they're there, so I want to give it credit to that. So I will say, those three differences, the way it's mounted, larger buttons, the longer actual sight itself, and the actual way to make the adjustments, those improvements, hands down, in my opinion, make the Pro a better version. I will say it's a little bit more expensive. How much? Now that comes down to you. I got lucky. When I bought this firearm that already came with this optic, the combined price ended up being less than this firearm and buying this optic separately. So keep that in mind. If you're getting a SIG that has this optic, you're gonna save a decent chunk of coin. Whether you look at it as saving on the pistol or the optic, the combo together, there's a net savings. So to me, getting the premium optic compared to that at a lesser cost, that was a really good win. Now, here's the only downside. Well, we'll wait for that downside. I do want to talk on one more thing. One addition I can say, and I don't know when they'll be ready, but according to SIG's website, and what I really wanted when I first saw it, but I couldn't get it because this came with a red dot, the Pro is also going to have a green variant. So you get the green in all three reticles. You can do the circle dot, the 6 MOA, or the 3. To me, that's huge. I love a green reticle. I know that comes down to preference, but personally, I would have preferred green. So take that for what you want, depending on you if you like it or not. To me, that's a pro. I would have preferred to get it if I could have. Doesn't mean I dislike this anymore, but had they offered it, I would have opted that route. Or had I gotten the optics separately, I would have got the green. So I think it is worth mentioning when I'm talking about this review, especially because honestly, I just checked YouTube today. I can't find any videos talking about the SIG-LOC Pro version. So that's why I'm trying to cover everything for you guys. And as always, and I'll probably repeat this again, if I forget something that you're curious about with this optic, please just ask me in the comments. So I think that's everything that I've covered, except for the one con, right? The one con, because this specific optic has those little teeth that go under the side, there's going to be limited compatibility. I know SIG is saying every new firearm is going to get upgraded with that slide to fit them, but I don't know what that looks like for other brands. I don't know how long until it's adapted. I don't know if it's going to be adapted. So that could be a huge con down the road. Could be a huge win. Maybe this is what pushes other companies to do this, to get a more secure lock-in. We'll see. Only time will tell. It seems like optics are coming a long way and only getting better with time. But I just want to try to mention all the information I know at this point. Now guys, before you go, I want you to know I'm doing a giveaway. Did you see last week's video? If not, go check it out. This bag can be yours. I gave specific directions in that video on how to get this bag. It's a review on this bag. This is the Everly Stock Fade Sling, and I'm gonna give this away. The drawing will be held the Sunday before Thanksgiving. I will do a live short, or say I will record it as a short when I do the drawing and post it on Thanksgiving. It's very simple, guys. You gotta go to that video, gotta be a subscriber, and you gotta put in there what would be your favorite everyday carry, or what is your favorite everyday carry, and what are you thankful for this year in 2025. You can do as many comments you want containing those two specific things. Each one will count as an entry for you. So please, if you haven't already, go check that video out, because this bag needs a new home and it's going somewhere this year. But back to our topic here. ROMEO-X SIG-LOC Pro, guys, I think it's the best version yet. I love this optic. If I had to get another firearm, I'd probably route for this, because I really have no complaints at all. For the price with the firearm, it definitely was a good value. I love shooting this. I have no problem with it. And yeah, I think SIG is definitely making some serious improvements. Obviously, if you guys have seen my old videos, you know I didn't really like their original red dots, or at least the ones that came out several years ago, but they definitely picked up their game. It's nice they're made in the USA. They have a lifetime warranty. It's freaking awesome. So I definitely encourage you guys, check them out if you're looking for an optic. And as always, if I forgot anything about this, or there's something specific you're curious about, please ask me. I get back to you guys right away. And I just want to say thank you guys. I appreciate you guys checking out my videos. I keep trying to come up with new stuff every week to keep it fun, fresh, and exciting. So stick around. I got plenty more to come. Take it easy.